Okay, this is so exciting. We're talking about from distractions to delight, and we're going to be doing an over the shoulder training tonight to prepare you for whenever you need some time to yourself. Now, we have a 3-hour Super Saturday coming up this Saturday. And I just thought that a lot of you are probably like, oh my God, I would so love to come to the Super Saturday, but what am I going to do with the kids? So I thought, well, what would be better than doing a Creating Champions for Life live over the shoulder training as we prepare some of our students. Some of these students are just brand new. I think, Jen, you met us a month ago and you became a Gold Star member. You're our low level mentorship program. Dawn has been working with us for years. Chelsea, I don't know, a year. Oh my gosh, time flies so quickly. And then Angela, also a little bit over a year. So we've got beginner, intermediate, and advanced students here today, and we're going to show you, take you through the steps on how you can have an unlimited amount of time to yourself while your children happily play doing something. Now, how awesome is that? If you're watching this, I want you to post in the comments, like, yeah, right. That'll never work. I've tried everything under the sun. And before we actually prepared for this training, I did a little Google search. I'm like, how do I get some free time to myself? And the advice was like hilarious. It was like food, use food to distract your kids. Another one was dump a whole bucket of Lego out on the floor and let them play with it. Another one was wet paint art or something like that. And then another mom comments, I would never let my kids play with wet paint without supervision. So all the advice that was out there was like extremely hilarious, in my opinion, because it's all set up for failure.
Well, you remember if you scroll all the way down, like really, really far, it says get rid of them.
Get rid of the kid. Get a babysitter. Get a babysitter. Send them to somebody else's house. That's right. And the thing is that I used to think that too. And the first time that Tom ever kind of taught me this, and I made a plan, and we're gonna take you through the steps, and we're gonna pull up a document, and I want you to get a pen and piece of paper tonight. There's going to be so much value in this presentation tonight that you're going to want to make sure to write everything down, because the brain can only remember so much. Are you with me on this? But how many of you would love to be able to take a phone call with your best friend or join us on a training and have the freedom to actually pay attention while your kids are happily playing over there? Chelsea's going to share a story tonight. It's super exciting. I didn't even ask you first, but we're going to set this up. So Tom, and if you're just getting to know us, Thomas and I bring over 60 some odd years of personal development to the realm. We teach a little bit differently here at Creating Champions for Life, where the entire world has been programmed to react to child's behavior. We are going to program you to be proactive with your children. We are going to breathe life into you, into them. We're going to help you believe in the capabilities and not the disabilities of your children. And we're going to show you step by step every single step you can take to give yourself perfect freedom. Why is it, Thomas? Then you've worked with thousands of kids. You've seen the mom comes in. So Thomas had a dojo. He was a 4th degree black belt in Taekwondo. So he had thousands of kids come through his martial arts program, after school program. And you'd have the kids doing a certain thing, and the mom would walk in the door, and then what would happen?
Talk about how the kids react when the mom came in.
Yeah.
Well, kids are very smart. They know exactly how to master their environment. And one of the things that they would notice is that they would be very proactive and independent of, look what I can do all by myself. And then as soon as the mom would come in, and we're talking like the typical mom, the one that was programmed to believe that your self-worth is based on how much you do for your child. And we all know the campaign. As soon as the mom would walk in, the kid would turn right around, go right to him, and start whining, complaining. And then the mom would start producing all the results for the kid.
Yeah, well, I want to talk about something. How many of you here, even on the panel or in the comments, share in the comments, how many of you have been taught that your kids will react crazy with you the minute they see you because you're their safe place? Has anyone ever heard that before? That, you know, they're in school all day long and they have to act a certain way, and then they can come home and be with you, and then they get to be crazy because you're their safe place. And I want to kibosh that advice is setting us all up for failure, not just you as a mother, but your children also. There is a cause behind the storm, a cause behind the effect. So I want to pre-frame, when we talk and do trainings, we are talking to the moms who know in their heart that there must be a better way. We're talking to the moms that do believe in the capabilities of their children. We're talking to the moms that have probably read every parenting book under the sun, have listened to the therapists, have listened to the pediatricians. Nothing is working to bring peace at home, but you know beyond a shadow of a doubt that there must be something wrong with the advice you've been given, and you're here seeking solutions. How many here on the panel prayed to God, literally? And I want to pre-frame, this isn't a religious talk. Stormy asked me today, is this religion? And I'm like, it's not religion. But sometimes we just like need to pray for an answer when we're at the end of the rope. And whether you're, you know, you follow science, whether you follow attraction, whether you follow, you know, quantum physics, or whether you follow any type of religion, the universal laws are the universal laws. I just call them God laws because I love God. But so how many of you prayed to whoever it is that you believe in and then found our video?
Or better yet, anybody out there that knows that if you cry, somebody will come help because you did everything else. You see, it's that basic cry. You can call it a pray, but you know that you've done everything you could and you're looking for the last resort.
Yeah. And then you
Same,
find
same.
us. And then you
Yes.
find us. So, Tom, we were talking about mom being a life force. You know, the kids could be just off doing something else. And the minute the mom gets
Oh,
busy
right.
in a training or on the phone, guess who? Mom.
Oh, well, let's go back to remember how we were supposed to do everything for our kids and provide and all that good stuff? Well, if you could close your eyes, obviously, if you're not driving, but close your eyes and just start to visualize that if I did everything for my kid, where does everything come from? Go for a moment into your child's eyes and see it from their perspective. Is that mom is the do all, be all, make all creation in my life. And see, it's really neat when it's just you and your offspring, the baby and the mom. But I'll tell you what, if something threatened that life force that was all mine, you know, that thing they picked up that they'd put to their ear and they talk into one end and you have no idea what they're doing, but they just keep talking into it. Whoop, whoop. Intruder alert, intruder alert. Somebody's taking away my life force and I must make sure that it stays intact. Mom, 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 mom.
Ah!
And then as soon as magic, as soon as that, and this is the kid's perspective, that thing goes back onto the ground, ding. Everything's back to normal and I can leave mom alone.
Yeah.
I'd like to hear from the moms out there if there's any truth to this mystery. I see some head nodding. Type
Yeah,
it in yes or bring somebody else.
I'm gonna well, I think you might have to unmute yourself. I'm not sure. Yeah,
Yeah,
unmute
it works.
yourself and just share really quickly what we're talking about. And Jessica already shared in the comments. It's already happening. I just started the call and I'm already getting bugged. So yes, share your comments here as we're talking, ladies, if you're on the panel here today.
Yeah, I'm just listening to this and I'm like 110%. I thought it was a universal truth that kids know how to bug you when you get on the phone. I mean, I can remember 35 years ago when Jessica was like just a young little baby, 3 years old. It was impossible to do anything without having the kids. Like, it's like they have a little inside spidey sense that goes, oh, mom's on the phone. She's busy. Now
Yeah.
I need to go. And like, it was incredible.
Exactly. It is incredible. Chelsea, did you experience the same thing?
Oh,
You know
yeah.
what we're talking about? Yeah?
Yeah. Yeah.
Any comments before we get into the solution, the magic of creating champions for life?
Yeah. I just locked myself in the bedroom and then hope that it was quiet enough. Oh, yeah.
Me too. I remember holding my hand up against the door and the kids were like screaming outside the door.
Yeah.
Jen, what about you? Are you experiencing that as we speak?
A little, yeah. He came in. He whispered, but yeah, he definitely interrupted. He actually one time we were at a playground and this other kid was like trying to get his mother's attention, and he just said, "Just keep saying mom, just keep saying mom, and you'll get her attention." I was like, "Do not tell that other child that," because he was doing what he was supposed to do. So they know that, you know. So
They know that. That's awesome. Dawn, I've seen you.
Oh yeah, I remember when I first was signing up with you guys and our beginning meetings, and they're climbing all over me, and I could barely get a sentence out. And you made a comment about how at some point I'll be able to have a call without that happening, and I just couldn't believe it. Well, I believe there was the possibility, but yeah.
And have you been able to have a call with us?
It's so much better. It's so
Yeah.
much better. But
Oh my gosh.
I still, we still got a little work, especially on the youngest. And then I find my own little tricks. Like right now I'm in the car while they're still at daycare.
Yeah, yes. Well, we're gonna get into the tips tonight. Now, I just got a comment from a Facebook user. I'm sorry, I don't know who you are, but yes, just seeking attention, and we're gonna talk about that next. That's actually what I want to talk about. So, yes, all children love attention. We know that. Not only children, don't we all love attention, moms? We love attention from our spouses, or my kids, my adult kids love attention. I go out individually with my kids for lunch so that they can all get one-on-one attention. So we can either give attention reactively, like what most of us have been taught to do: catch your child doing something inappropriate, correct them in the moment, get on the phone, try to hide out, and they're going to come seeking attention. Or we can do it proactively. So do you have— hi Hannah, welcome.
So if we can understand the power of attention, every offspring that's born, babies, the number one ingredient that we must all have is what? Attention.
Yes.
Without it, we will die. Hence, when you can see that you are their life force, that if it's threatened, that's why they come to you. But as soon as you got off the phone, they left you alone because the life force is intact. It's not being under attack. If you can see it from their kids' perception tonight, you will have actually won.
Awesome. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to share a document. So y'all grabbed a pen and paper, right? A pen and a pad of paper, a piece of paper, whatever. You're here to take notes. Watching, you're here to take notes. Yes. Give me a like on the video or a comment if yes, I got my pen. And we're all ready to go because this is going to be really powerful. Okay. So I'm going to present, and then our panel here from beginner, intermediate, and advanced students are going to have the ability to ask questions and speak to us live as we go through this, because I thought it was so powerful. We want to make sure that you actually understand what we're saying here. And sometimes we can speak a little fast, and sometimes we can speak a little French, a little out there, and you might not quite get it. So step number 1 is, this is the question you're going to ask yourself. Do I believe they can learn? Do I believe they can learn? Do I believe, and just put Angela, do I believe they can learn? And I'm just going to keep asking, like, do you believe that they have the potential to actually leave you alone? Do you believe in the possibility of this? And if we were to tell you step by step what to do, can you actually believe in the process? So Tom, can you talk about that a little bit before we move to step number 2?
Well, yeah. I want you to just take a moment just to look at it objectively. We're not here to attack, but if I had spinach in my teeth, I would want you to tell me for a little bit of discomfort rather than you never said anything at all. Fair enough? So, a little boy, little girl comes up to you and they ask, "Can I have?" But when they're really asking you, is they're holding up this little sign that says, "Do you believe I can learn?" Now, politically, every mom in the world will go, "Of course I do." Who's with me on this? Say yes, right? But if you really did believe they can learn, why do you still continue to do everything for them?
That might be a sub question right there that you can ask and answer for yourself.
So, if I believe you can learn, like a lot of times we get introduced to water, like swimming. And there's that classic of like, okay, see if you can hold your breath and go underwater for 5-10 seconds. Oh my gosh, that was so scary. I thought I was going to choke. I thought I was going to die, literally, right? You're with me on this, right? Maybe a hand, something. What if we could see it the same way of like, okay, I believe you can do by yourself, all by yourself. I believe in you that you can learn to do this because one day you have to leave. So what if we could practice? I'm in this room and you're in this room. Like, remember when we held our breath underwater? It's going to be a little scary and you're really going to have to concentrate like all your effort and energy on it. But pretty soon we can go from 1 second to 10. And I think the Guinness Book of World Records is like 13 minutes.
Yeah, right.
That's a hint for being able to believe that they can learn to be without you.
Now, if you're watching, I want you to put in the comments, what's one thing that you've seen your child learn to do that they can now do all by themselves without you that they didn't used to be able to do? And if you're here on the panel, just unmute yourself. I'm sorry, I'm going to mute you every time we're talking because there is a little bit of feedback that you have to unmute yourself in order to answer. But I'd love for you to unmute yourself as we're waiting for some comments to come in here and just share what's one thing that your kids can now do all by themselves without you that you didn't think that they could do before. Angela?
Both of my grandsons come into our house and they, when they've got their coats and boots on, they take their boots, coats off and their toques. They hang them on their little hooks. They put their boots under. Nobody has to say a thing to them. They just do it like automatically.
Awesome. And we're going to talk about the steps of how you got there in a little bit. Chelsea,
Yes.
what's one thing that your little 3-year-old can do all by himself that you didn't think he could before?
He can get all of his outdoor clothes on. So right now here in Canada, it's snowy. And yeah, he can do his snow pants. He can zip up his jacket all by himself, put it on, zip it up, and he can put on his snow boots all by himself and fold over his pants over his boots.
Wow.
Can I ask you a question there, Chelsea, about this?
Yes.
Would it be safe to say that it's, say, 3 to 10 minute window to do that?
Yes.
Okay. Can we be conservative and say 5 to 10 minutes, just
Yeah.
for example? Good.
Yeah.
Does he go outside more than once?
Yes.
So could it be like, say, 3 times a day? Maybe he might go outside with those clothes on?
Yeah.
3
Yeah.
times 10 is 30 in my mind. Is it the same in yours?
Yes.
Who just created themselves 30 minutes of free time?
Right. Yes.
Who did that?
Exactly. I did.
I think you're onto something, Chelsea, but don't tell anybody because they won't believe you.
That's
Right.
awesome.
Yeah.
Jen, what's something that your little kids can do now that you didn't know that they could do all on their own at any time in their life?
For my oldest, he's 15. He can now pretty much, prepare like meals for himself. Like if he needs a snack, he knows, he can just fix that on his own. And then for the youngest, recently he's actually just began taking it upon himself to make his own bed.
Is that since finding Creating Champions for Life? Did you used to do it for him before?
A little bit. That started before, but it seems to be more consistent
now. Awesome.
Yes.
And did Dawn go? Dawn, did you go?
Nope, not yet.
Dawn, go.
Yeah,
Please.
One thing
sorry.
that's okay. One thing I've been really excited about is my little girl has been taking it upon herself to sweep the whole house, and she'll clean the counters, wipe them down. She starts upstairs, sweeps right on down the hallway, down the stairs, the whole downstairs, picks things up, wipes down the counters, and then she'll say, "Well, I was hoping that I could go play next door."
She's earning some playtime. Okay, Dawn's giving a little bit of hint to the motivator of what's going to actually engage your kids while you do a Super Saturday 3-hour training event with us this Saturday, and your kids can be totally independent and happily doing it. I've lived it. Chelsea, at the end, I want you to share a story that you shared on Facebook about your little dance party, which is really cool. So step number 2 is you parents have a goal plus the kids have a goal. Now, I want to differentiate the difference between a goal and a reward. A reward is something that the parent kind of offers to the kids. If you leave me alone while I'm on the phone, I'll give you a reward. I'll let you play with the iPad, or I'll get you your favorite treat. Has anybody here on the panel ever offered a reward to their kid for doing something you want them to do and then it backfired? Yeah. Okay. So we want to really listen to our kids. So between now and Saturday, first of all, what fun things do you have going on the weekend? What fun things could you do Saturday afternoon that the kids could work towards earning? So between now and Saturday, you want to listen to your kids. Mommy, can we go to the park? Mommy, I want to watch this movie. Jessica, I want Spider-Man outfit, like whatever it is, right? I want to play down in the basement. I want some outside time. I want. Are the kids constantly asking you for things? Yes or no? If you're watching, share with us in the comments. We really feed off the comments, you guys. This is really an interactive training. We love empowering you. And I want to just say that the more you engage with the training that you share in the comments with us, the more you're going to get out of this training. These steps are going to seem so simple, but they are so profound, because typically we wait till we're on the phone, and then, like Chelsea said, we hide in the bathroom, or Dawn's hiding in the car because we didn't have time to pre-frame for tonight. Dawn, did we? Because I asked you to be here just like an hour ago, so there was no time to actually pre-frame. But between now and Saturday, there is time to make a plan with your kids. So, Mom, you have a goal to join us for a 3-hour Super Saturday intensive. How fun would it be if you could join us and totally focus while your kids were happy? Would that make you happy as you're watching this presentation right now? Would that make you happy? Share with us in the comments. Oh, I love this. Thank you for sharing. I think that must be Hannah. Okay. So, do you have anything to comment? Parents' goal, kids' goal.
Yes. One thing I'd like to bring awareness to is there's a fine line between a parent giving a reward and a bribe, because we're giving them something we know they like, and we are expecting something in return. So let's go to the real world, because this is why we're really preparing them to go out in the real world. Yes?
Yep.
I want to give a cop something that I know everybody likes. It's called money, or maybe donut coupons. And I want something in return, that he just gives me a warning. But that's illegal. No, yes. So I want you to really decipher, is that if you're starting to give your kids rewards, they're bribes in disguise, which means we're setting them up for failure in the future. But if you want some time to yourself, oh, that's where the parent's goal comes into mind. I'd like a Calgon moment, take me away. I would like to have an hour 3 times on Saturday to do something that's important to build trust with my family, called the Super Saturday. So just bring awareness. And the kid's goal, Mom, can I have? Can I go? Can I? And you know, this goes on day long. Those are hints that those are whose motivators. That's the secret. Be detective and write them down, because if it's in your head, you'll lose it fast. Write it down so it's sure to last.
So Hannah, I do want to kind of talk about your 4-year-old can pretty much do anything on his own. So you answered the question, what can your kids do now all by themselves without you? I'm glad you have a very independent 4-year-old, but I also want to just talk about, just for a minute, the aggression without reason. I promise you there is a reason. That is an effect to a cause. We just have to figure out the cause. And I want to validate that you're experiencing this. And anybody here watching, this is the Principles That Guarantee Success group, the harmonious parenting group. And 99.9% of the families who are in this group are experiencing this type of behavior when they first find us. Kids who scream, kids who get aggressive, kids who are diagnosed with oppositional defiant disorder. So bear with us as you're just getting to learn Creating Champions for Life. We are tonight talking about steps to freedom, so you can join us on the training on Saturday. The training on Saturday, if there's any way that you can make Super Saturday, we're going to share every single one of our secrets with you, all the 12 principles of Creating Champions for Life. And if you stick with us to the end of this presentation, Chelsea's going to share her story, because Chelsea, you had a 5-year-old that was very similar to this when you first found us. Yes? Okay. And so we're going to give you some hope and breathe some life into you before the end of tonight's presentation. As for now, we're going to move on to step number 3. Step number 3 is you and your child must know the exact expectations in advance, proactively. It's kind of like
Fire escape plan.
a fire escape plan or any other thing that we're going to do in our life. Build a house, right? Plant a garden, plan a wedding or a party. We are going to have plans proactively. Even when you have a wedding, don't you meet the day before and you practice walking down the aisle? Don't you have a rehearsal dinner before the wedding? See what I'm saying? Everything's done rehearsal dinner. So instead of following our kids around and correcting them in the moment with some sort of positive discipline, negative discipline, any type of discipline, we are going to know our exact expectations in advance. So I want you to think about, between now and Saturday morning, what are your expectations, Mom? What would you like for your kids to be doing while you want some free time before you get on the phone for 10 minutes with your mom or with grandma? What are the expectations so that you could give your children some proactive attention, and they're not going to be seeking attention from a negative perspective, or in a negative way?
Well, absolutely. And that comment that came earlier is it said, gets aggressive without reason. And I'm going to be straight with you and say that you can actually see, or that you actually know. You see, we will do anything and everything for attention, just to live, be alive. Which means if you put my head underneath water, I will bite, kick, crack, whatever it is, scratch, claw, bite, buck, fart, snort, chew, cuss. I don't know what's going on. There's always a reason. They're starving for attention, because without being any type of training for them to know how to make something create on their own, and you're the be all do all in their life, and you're telling them can't, don't, won't, well, you tell me how you act when I put your head underneath water and then go, well, she's acting crazy. I don't know why. There's always a reason. And that's the power. If you don't know, that's one thing. But if you do know, that's why you show up on a Saturday.
Yeah, 100%. We got you. We promise that the principles will turn things around, but you just got to believe. We got to go back to question number 1. Do I believe that my child can learn?
And Bonnie?
And if you do, we can turn things around. Yes.
Do you believe all these moms can learn?
I believe in all the moms of the world. That's why I'm here. I would stake my life on the mission that we're on here today. We're here to actually help you do that. So, number 1, do I believe they can learn? Number 2, what is your goal? What is your kids' goals? Now, if we give the kids everything under the sun and then come in like we are in control of everything, we take something away the minute they do something we don't like, that's where you're going to see a lot of aggressive behavior. But when your kid wants something, instead of telling them no from now till Saturday and moving forward for the rest of your life, write it down as a goal. Validate your kids' desires as a goal and figure out a parent approved plan, which was what we're going to for step number 4. We're going to create a parent approved plan for your child to reach their goal. Now, when I started in business at the age of 21, I started in sales. And then the very first thing I ever learned about success was you got to have a goal. And before you could even have a goal was you got to have a burning desire for something that you don't currently have. And the one thing problem with parenting in 2024 is we've been conditioned to provide our kids a good life. I worked my butt off. And if is anyone here on the panel the same as me? Did you work really hard to give your kids a good life, thinking that you needed to give them a Toys R Us and a TV in every room and a computer and an iPad and an iPhone and all these technical things and all the toys and everything under the sun and designer clothes and, ooh, I want this, and you feel responsible to give it to them? Anybody else on the panel like that? Is anybody in the comments relating to what I'm saying here? Does it make sense that when we give our kids everything under the sun because we want to give them a good and easy life, does it make sense that we might be smothering their internal desire, their internal motivator, their zest for life? The one thing that's going to actually drive them to cooperate with you, to engage in the life skills, is the things that they ask for. Okay. Jessica, my struggle is I do know the reason they are acting angry or crazy and that I am the cause of it. And I have already screwed up the moment. So now I have to deal with the meltdown. Well, honey, you're here and you're learning and you're open. And I want you to be kind to yourself. Okay. God, man, it takes I'm 51 years old. When I met Tom, I was 39. I had 39 years of parent training in the wrong direction. I had my oldest kid at the time was 13. I had 4 kids between the ages of 6 and 13. And there was screaming and there was chaos. And if I was like Chelsea, if I ever wanted to get 5 minutes on the phone, I had to lock myself in the room and listen to the screaming outside the door. I built a home-based business from the time my kids were ages 0 to 3. And so I remember sitting them in front of the TV and trying to distract them with all these things, and then going into the other room, making a call, asking a question, hitting the mute button, running to the other room. It was crazy. So what we're sharing with you tonight isn't hyperhopium. This is an actual plan that's been actually applied with thousands of kids. I've done it. Chelsea's done it. Dawn has done it. Jen's just learning it. Angela's tried it. So that's why I got this little panel together, because once we're done the 6 steps, we're going to have an opportunity to open ourselves up. I want you to think and ask questions. Jessica, thank you for sharing. Honestly, I want to just give you a big hug right now. Okay. So we're going to offer a parent approved plan. And how many times have we set up our kids with things that we think will be fun? We set it all out. We make all the plans, but we don't give the kids any opportunity to choose what they want to do. So part of the parent approved plan is offering your kids parent approved choices of things they could do, but then ultimately allowing them to choose their own activities.
That is so true. Because let me ask you this. How much does it suck when your opinion doesn't count? I don't know what country you're in, but in the States, they say your opinion to make a decision doesn't happen until you're 18. So all the way up to then, you can't make any decision. My goodness. No wonder we're a little bit frustrated. No one's even hearing me. Anybody seeing Horton Hears a Who? I am here. I am here. I am here. Screaming at the top of their lungs. Let's start that process now. Let the healing begin by giving them already things that you can say yes to, whether it's going to be their watching the TV as one of their goals that they can earn, playing outside as a goal that they can earn, being able to have a hangout with one of their friends that they can earn, You could say yes to all of those. That's what the parent approved already means, which when they choose allows them to actually hear that they're being heard and my opinion actually counts. If you're with me on this, type in yes into the comments there. Ladies, give me a hand of saying yes, I'm with you. Because when you can see that, and I got to say, Jessica, thank you for your bravery, your courage to go from I don't know to I did it.
That's
My
huge.
goodness. I mean, that is the revelation, because when I can know that I caused it, then it can be as fun as simple as here's my hand, here's a hammer. Doc, my hand hurts. What do I do? And he goes, stop doing that. Oh my God. Why didn't I think of that? Because I didn't see it.
Yeah.
But when I know that I caused it, then what is a simple game of opposites? Right? Bonnie, what's the opposite of wrong?
Right.
And what's the opposite of right?
Left.
Now that is where you can make the change, because most people get stuck in wrong, right, wrong. Hey, what's wrong? No, when we can go from what's wrong to what's right. Oh, I'm doing it. That's what's right. So what was left out of the equation that I could learn on this Super Saturday, that I can now get the tools and the knowledge, and maybe even hire an accountability partner to have a coach in the corner to hold my hand to make it from Suckville to Coolville.
I love this comment because yes, I
Thank
know
you,
we can
Jessica.
do it because we made it and we can untangle the web we had made. All you need is the correct knowledge. You see, when we've been given crap parenting advice for the last forever and then told to be calm and gentle about it, it's like no wonder that the majority of our children are dealing with mental health issues. And not only that, our parents, our moms are dealing with mental health issues. Our dads are not wanting to come home. When we actually follow these 6 steps, these are 6 simple steps. We want you to have success this Saturday. We want you to show up and go, oh my God, I've never had 10 minutes alone on my phone and look at my kids are over there. Now, I want to give you a little hint. The hint is the technology stays off. Turn the technology off. There is no TV. There is no iPad's not a parent approved option. Do you want to know the best parent approved options? I'm just going to give you a little hint right now. Write this down. Board games, card games, coloring, reading books. So if you pulled out all of these things that were interactive games, because if you do turn on the TV, your kids are just going to be poking and fighting with each other in 10 minutes. Does this make sense for everybody? How much does this make sense? How many times have you sat them down in front of the TV or the iPad and they're beating each other up and you're on the phone? Blah, blah, blah.
Right.
No. So you want to think outside of the box. You want to go grab all of these games, maybe Monopoly or Scrabble or like, what do you call that? Jenga or like Uno or like Crazy Eights or whatever. Pick out all of these games and go, guys, you want to watch TV. That's called a goal. That happens after they cooperate for your session, your phone call, your training session. Does this make sense? Yes?
Yes. Absolutely brilliant, Bonnie.
Oh, that's Bonnie and Thomas. Oh, I don't know who Bonnie and Thomas is on YouTube, but that's awesome. That's probably Angela.
Well, right
maybe.
here,
I just did that.
Oh, okay.
And what's
Okay.
really cool here is we've got
Johnny was a Facebook user, so I just said
Yeah.
thanks for being here.
Okay, awesome. So we've got a parent approved plan and we're going to open up the panel. If that doesn't make sense, please let us know. And if you know what that means, but you think that the audience might need clarity, please let us know. We're going to move on to role play. This is like planning a wedding and having a rehearsal dinner. You don't do it as you're getting on the training. You make it fun. This is the difference between winning and losing, is the proactive role play attention. Your kids will love this so much. So I'm going to bring Chelsea up right now. I want you, Chelsea. We did a role play with the bed making in the morning. It was just freaking fantastic. I've got Chelsea crawling into her little 5-year-old's bunk bed and it's awesome. So Chelsea, can you describe for everybody watching what is role play and really get into the nitty-gritty details of whatever you can do? Now, Chelsea's a mom of 4 little kids between the ages of 5 and 9. So she knows what she's talking about. Okay.
Yeah. Okay, so first off, we started with outstanding, I believe it was. So there's 3 levels: outstanding, average, bare minimum. And so I went into her bed and I waited for the alarm clock to go off and showed what an outstanding way of getting up in the morning looked like. So getting up out of bed right when you hear the alarm clock, getting down, making the bed right away, getting dressed with a good attitude, and cleaning up your floor, putting away dirties into the laundry, and then moving on to the kitchen for breakfast. And then average, kind of stirring in bed, not getting up right away, but eventually getting up, halfway making the bed, maybe some blankets are a little bit not as tidy as you would like it to be, but it's still being done. Getting dressed kind of reluctantly, slow, not super fast. And then bare minimum was reality. Yeah, current reality, where it was just, yeah, a lot of complaining, just really showing how they act, right? So it would be whining, complaining, screaming, just taking your time, and as a result, you left the house in a rush because you just took a long time and you chose bare minimum.
Yeah, so you acted it out. You like literally acted out each one. So you've done a lot more role play. Do you remember when we showed up at your door and your little guy opened the door and said, "May I take your shoes?"
Yeah.
Can you
Yeah, that was
just
so good.
yeah, share about
Yeah.
that. Just how long did it take for you to role play before we showed up at the door for your little 9-year-old to greet us at the door the way he did?
It didn't take long. It was maybe 10 minutes. It wasn't a long thing. Um, and that was, me showing him what it looked like, and then he showing me what he saw, so mimicking what he saw me do. And um, then we went down the different levels, outstanding, average, bare minimum, kind of a thing. And they catch on really fast, really, really fast, and they get really into it. They think the bare minimum is hilarious when they have to act that out. They think it's just the funniest thing. But yeah, and they often choose outstanding as a
Yeah.
result.
Yeah, no, that's awesome. We showed up at the door. We knocked on the door. The little guy answered the door. He said, "May I take your coat and shoes? And can I get you a coffee? What would you like
Yeah.
in your like?" It was just so
Yeah.
sweet, and it was obviously taught to him, practiced with him, role played with him, and he did it. So what we're talking about with the role play is you want to show your kids now, mom or dad, we have a training to do, and we're going to set the timer. Now I'm going to get Tom to talk about the timer. I wrote this down because kids do not know how to tell time. If you say I'm going to be on a call for an hour, I need you to do blank, this is a dictation, and you're thinking they know how to tell time. They don't. So we need to somehow set a timer. We need to practice what the timer means. We need to show them the life skill proactively, and then we need to literally show them, now if you play here, you can color, you can do this, you can do that. What 3 activities would you like to do while I'm on my training? And they go, I will color, we'll play Jenga, and we're going to play Uno. Do you know how fast an hour or 50 minutes will go by if your kids have chosen 3 activities that are already parent approved and they're part of the decision making, and you've role played how to get your attention? So that's next, Tom. How do they get the attention of the parents when the parents are on the training if they need to? Can you talk about the 3 moms?
Right. And see, role play, the way it works is the opposite of talking. What is the opposite of talking? Well, it goes way back when to MSMD. When I was a kid, I knew exactly where the cookies were because I watched mom put them on top of the top cupboard. So all I had to do when she wasn't there is climb up and get to them. Monkey see, monkey do. If you want to win big with role play, stick with the ancient game that's been around since the beginning of time, because talking, well, I've seen someone tell their dog to sit 100 times in a 3-minute window, and I ask them, excuse me, are you teaching your dog to count or actually what they should do? So telling them, good luck. But monkey see, you role play it. You show them what it looks like, and then say, your turn.
Yeah.
And when they can mimic you, oh, that's the sweet spot. Because if monkey see, monkey do was real, which it is, we told our kids no before the age of 2, a staggering 400-to-1 ratio to yes. And as soon as they start to mimic, come on over here. No, don't you talk to me like that. And we missed the window that they actually learned by mimicking. Role playing, we practice before we go to a game, and we must practice before we go live.
Yeah. Cool. Okay. Number 6 is let the games begin.
Let the game begin.
Let the game begin. If you have a goal, your kid has a goal, your expectations have been written down on paper by you, you know what your expectations are proactively before the event. You create a parent-approved plan so your kids can earn their goal. This is where they earn TV time, where they earn iPad time. And Jessica, you're going to get there. You'll get there. They're going to earn their iPads moving forward, right? This is their internal motivator to actually work with you. Okay. They're going to go to the park. They go to the park for a little time or a long time. They watch half the movie or the whole movie. Whatever goal it is, they watch 30 minutes of TV or an hour of TV, depending on did they actually leave you alone and do what you had practiced for them to do while you were on the training, or did they bug you every 5 minutes? Then they're just saying, I want a little time at the park. How much is this making sense for Jen? Jen, is this kind of making sense? A little or a lot?
Yes, no, definitely. And we had a little experience in the beginning with the role play with the haircut. I think I told you about it.
Share.
Yeah, it was literally one of the first things I had learned through you all. And he used to not really like haircuts. He didn't really like crop, but he would just like giggle and act silly and so we went over like role playing with him, like showing him like, this is what you do when you go in, you sit in the chair. And that's what I pretended I was him and he was the hairdresser. And we went over things, that he was supposed to do and we wrote it out. And then his goal was to get a toy afterwards, like at the dollar store or something like that. So that was, and it worked. I mean, it was awesome.
All right. So you've seen it work. Proactive plans, proactive attention, proactive love, proactive expectations. Man, your kids want to please you. They want to be seen by you. They would love for you to be proud of them. And when we parent in this way, we give them the opportunity to be seen. We give them the opportunity to show off. We give them the opportunity to go, look what I did all by myself. Like, it's really powerful. Dawn, do these steps make sense to you? Do you have any questions or can you add any clarity for the people who are watching?
Yeah, definitely. Oh gosh, I just really loved Chelsea's examples with the role play. That's a real nice step by step about that and making it a lot of fun. But definitely knowing ahead of time and having the bare minimum, average, and outstanding as the goal, it makes a huge difference. And having 3 kids, there's oftentimes a competition anyway. So
So
Everybody wants to outdo each other that way. So you could kind of use it to your benefit if you do it right.
absolutely. I love that. Thank you for being here and thank you for sharing. Chelsea, can you share about the dance party? Can you share how the whole thing kind of went down?
Sure, yeah. So we had decided that we didn't want the kids watching TV, so we gave them parent approved choices. And I believe one of them, so it was either, yeah, play a game, go outside in your room, or go outside, or play in your room. So all four of them were in their bedroom in one of the kids' room. All four of them were in there for a while, and I didn't even notice because they were being quiet. And so then they all came out and they showed me this invitation, and Rylan, gave me the plan that they had come up with, and it was, we're gonna have a party on Saturday, and we're gonna invite all of our friends, and we're gonna pool all of our money that we've made over the weeks from allowance, doing our star chart, and we're gonna buy the food. We're gonna put on this like party for our friends. And so they wrote out an invitation and they delivered it to their friends. I said to them, I'm like, okay, this is great, obviously great. They really wanted to do it inside, and I'm like, we're gonna do it outside, and if it's too cold outside, we will do it in the garage, not inside the house, okay? So we what did we do? We went to the store. Oh, before we went to the store, I got them to, I showed them how to make a list of, party things that you needed for a party. Went through the drinks and how many people are coming to your party. So that's how many plates you're going to need, and bowls and cups, and you got to think about the different snacks and everything. So we were prepared going to the store, role played at the store, before we went in. This is how we act, this is what we do. They went and got all their supplies, paid with their own money, all pulled together, all their supplies, and then came home.
Hang on.
Yeah.
This is your little guys at the party that they planned. They made so this was awesome. They were out of the house. They were in the garage. They had like a little party. And one thing that I wanted to show off was, look how good these kids are.
I wonder what this does.
Look at what they're doing. There's no poking, there's no arguing, there's no yelling. This is something they plan for themselves, and they are just the most amazingly. Look at these kids. I watched every single one of the clips that you shared, Chelsea, and I was like so impressed and so amazed. This is what happens when you allow your children parent approved plans, because they do want to be good. There's no reason for these kids to act out with any kind of negative attention. And absolutely, yeah, Melissa said it's beyond adorable. It is beyond adorable. Like I'm so impressed and so proud to call you Creating Champions for Life student. Every single mom in the whole world. Oh, let's not ignore the dad monitoring. Mark's here. Mark, welcome. First comment ever. Dad monitored the candy. That's awesome. Thank you so much for being here. I love that. What an awesome couple you guys are. So impressed, so proud. Does anybody on the panel have any questions or comments or things that we could do to add value to tonight for the people that are watching? Yes.
Yes. Number 6 with GAME. Can you elaborate?
Are you talking about the G dot, A dot, M dot? Hey, where's the dot after the E section?
Yes.
All right. And watch Angela put that other dot on her so fast. You'll be like, I didn't even see it missing it because she did it so quick. Well, I'll tell you what, Don, you are not only a superstar that went from Suckville to Coolville, and you're never going back even for $1 million bribe. Is that true?
Correct.
Now, What she's bringing awareness to is the word game. You see, the game for the kids that are playing, they are in which mode? We talked about it earlier when you got on the phone. Could we all agree that that was called survival mode? You
Yes.
with me on this? Say yes. But then we switched over to this video of these kids who had an idea for a party, negotiated it, paid the whole thing, gave mom a Calgon take me away moment. She was like, well, I kind of wanted to go see what they're up to moment. They were in which mode? We call it creative mode or creating mode. It was the exact same energy. Which one has the higher vibration? Now, to answer your question here, Don, and I'm so glad you asked, this is for the note takers out there. Might be a few note taker Nancys and a few Neds. But you're going to understand that everything that we do is principle, which is gravity, which means we didn't create it. We didn't go get a piece of paper to say we're smart and we can tell you what to do, and I wear a white jacket and pop pills as a prescription to mask. But I'm going to tell you this. You see, when the formula is always the same, principles, and embracing your own uniqueness is the name of the game. You see, the uniqueness is the goals in number 2. The parents have goals and the kids have goals. But the name of the game is GAME. Goals activated, manifest every single time, period. Whether you're in survival mode or in creative mode. Thank you for asking, Don. I trust that's what you're asking when you ask.
Oh, Tom, you're so brilliant. I had no idea what game was. So thank you for asking, Don. He kept that to himself right till the very end of the presentation. That's awesome. If you have any questions about the 6 steps, now's the time to ask. We might go over the hour. If we do and you're done, I appreciate you being here. But I do want to focus on this one question. Yes, Angela?
I was thinking of something that would be really, really fun.
Yes.
When the parents are role playing for the kids what they want them to do, would it not be a lot of fun to have them videotape that and share it with us?
Oh
The
my
parents
gosh. Wouldn't that
playing
be
the
fun?
game, showing bare minimum, just like Chelsea did when she was doing the bed making. Like,
Oh
it
my
was so
gosh.
much fun. Can you imagine the kids having so much fun watching their parents do that to really get into having fun during role play?
Yes, if
Get some
you're
pictures,
into this and you're like,
some
"Oh my god, I
photos,
want to go to the 3-hour
videos.
workshop. I'm going to role play with my kid, videotape it and share it with us in the
Yeah.
Harmonious Parenting Group." Yeah, that would
It'd be
be
so much fun.
that would be absolutely brilliant. There's our challenge to you all. We're going to play, okay? We're going to play Grow or Die. We're going to play we actually followed your advice and did what you said to do. Chelsea, do you have one more minute, a couple minutes
Yeah.
to answer this question before you go? So here's a question. So Chelsea has 4 kids, and one of her questions was she wanted to be able to go sit in the front row at church with her 4 kids. And so this question is, and I don't know where you're at on the spectrum. Like, I don't know, like, how much of Creating Champions for Life you've engaged with the person asking the question here, if this is Hannah still. But the question is, I would like suggestions on how to get my 9-year-old to be respectful in church. Chelsea, do you have any ideas for this young lady?
Yeah, it's just find out what their goal is. That's what we did, and then role play. And we just did it all in the living room. We did it right from the front door. You come into church, you say hi, you shake someone's hand, you go put your jacket away, you go and sit down nicely in church. We sat down on the couch and we role played it all. I turned on worship music on Google and we role played every single step, and it helps also to know what their goal is, their end game to that evening or morning.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's it. So basically what you're saying here is that these 6 steps, these 6 steps work for the church. These 6 steps will work if you got a phone grandma. These 6 steps will work if you got to take them for a haircut. These 6 steps will work. These are 6 steps. These are the secrets. Proactive from reactive, what we're used to. We're just so used to, everybody, the typical parenting advice. We're used to distracting them, we're used to controlling them, we're used to telling them what to do. And my big advice here as we wrap up tonight is we've got to start looking at our kids as if they're human beings. And we have to start treating them the way we want to be treated. And I want you to imagine you're starting a new job. Like, your kids have no idea how the world works. They have no idea what it means to be late for work. They have no idea what it means to run a household, do the grocery shopping, take care of everybody, pay the mortgage. They don't have a clue how the world works. They're counting on us to show them. But what we've been taught to do and what we've been doing is we've been disciplining them. We've been course correcting them. We've been telling them, no, we don't do that. No, that's wrong. No, that's bad. And worse yet, if you're anything like I was when my kids were little, oh my gosh, there's something wrong with you. You have something called ADHD. You have something called ODD. You have something called depression. You have something wrong with you. And what I've learned through the principles of success, and since meeting Thomas, thank God meeting Thomas, because even though I had been in personal development for 18 years, I knew all about goals. I knew that to be successful in business, you had to have a goal. You had to have a plan to achieve the goal. You had to take action on the plan, ready or not. You had to persevere through obstacles. And it was the persevering through obstacles and getting knocked down and getting back up and keeping on to achieve the goal that I was working for that gave me inner confidence to be here with you today. And then I didn't even realize till I met Tom, like, oh my God, my kids, I can parent with goals. Like, stop giving your kids everything under the sun and then demanding that they listen to you. This is the big secret. Oh my God. Okay, I'm going to close with this. I'm going to close with this.
Give them an example, Bonnie.
This is the example. If you've heard it before, you're going to hear it again. But like the very first clue, my youngest son was 6.5 years old, diagnosed with ADHD in the worst case of oppositional defiant disorder the school psychologist had ever seen. He would scream for hours and hours. He'd bang his head. He was the biggest pain in the rear end. You could know. He threw his desk across the classroom because the teacher wouldn't sharpen his pencil. And anyways, Tom's a guest in our house. We were not dating. We were partners for something completely different. I had no idea he knew anything about kids. And I'm walking on eggshells. Anybody ever walk on eggshells because you got company over and you know that there's going to be a 4-hour screaming fit because it's bedtime and it's embarrassing. So I'm like on my best mother behavior. Zach, it's getting close to bed. It's almost time for bed. And have you ever been taught that you're a good mom? If you're going to be a good mom, you need to read them a bedtime story every single night. And so I just thought, I have 4 kids. I'm going to read them a story and tuck each one in every single night. And it was freaking pain. And I'm like, Zach, it's time for bed. And he's like, oh, goes into whine. Oh, but I don't want to get ready for bed. And so Tom comes around the corner and he goes, Zach, he goes, would you like to go to bed now with a story or in 10 minutes from now all by yourself? And I'm thinking like, he's going to want the story. Like, anyways, he chose in 10 minutes from now all by himself. And here's the thing. Now offering choices is probably not unique to creating champions for life. You know, do you want, bubble bath, blue, purple, or red? You're going to give them a choice. What was different was Tom goes, do you know what 10 minutes on the clock actually looks like? And Zach's like, no. So Tom took 2 to 3 minutes, took him over to the clock, showed him exactly what to look for on the clock. When would 10 minutes be? And the icing on the cake was he handed 100% responsibility over to Zach. This is where I'm saying, like, when you make the parent approved plan and you say, I would love for you to watch that movie, love for you to watch TV, love for you to, play at the park. I'd love for you to have chocolate milk, whatever their goal is that they're working for you to have your free time. You need to put the plan in place, and then you need to take your hands off and give 100% responsibility. Believe they can learn over to your kid, and then just follow the plan. Because I thought he was duping Tom. And 10 minutes later, this little 6.5-year-old who had never, ever, ever, ever in his entire life gone to bed by himself comes running up the stairs, big smile on his face, big hug, a big I love you. And went running upstairs and went to bed, and I never heard from him again till morning. And I was like, Oh my God. Could it be this simple? Could it be this simple?
Not easy,
No, not easy.
but simple.
Not easy because you have a set of habits. We are human beings. Everything we do is by habit. How you react to things, how you perceive things, how you talk, how you think, how you drive, how you put your clothes on, every single thing you do is habit. And if you've got a kid who's 6, 8, 9, 13, 15, they also are operating by habits. And if they have learned to kick and scream and cry and hit to get what it is that's important to them, it's not going to be easy to change the habits. That's why people invest and work with us in mentorship programs. They do the Learn to Speak Kid course for a year. They do the 90-day parenting challenge for an intense 90-day transformation. But I mean, we want to give you everything we got in this group on YouTube, on TikTok, wherever we can be. We want to give you everything we got. And if it was as easy as these 6 steps right here, if you could take these 6 steps and totally transform your life, go for it. This is it. These are the secrets. What is your kid's goal? Now that doesn't look as, there we go. Okay, so we can't be like talking all night long. So what would Tom do if he didn't go to bed in 10 minutes? That's a great question. What would you do if you didn't go to bed in 10 minutes? Because we didn't have a proactive plan for that.
What's really neat about this, and if you're actually open to ask the question, is because what you're seeing is something that you don't like. He didn't go to bed. That's what you're seeing. And then you're going to do something and be like, well, you are going to go to bed and I'll make you. It's negative. And that's the conditioning that's been all the way back pre-planned and organized since 1946. There's a book Bonnie already wrote to give you all the history and the hope to let the healing begin. That's the book I'd recommend for you, because if you go back to what goals activated manifest every single time, and you can see through the reframe of, like, for the first time in his life, his opinion counted.
Yeah.
Somebody got to hear what was important to him, not this damn story. Yes, it's neat and sweet and looks good on paper. I am here. You're not even hearing me. And I'm fighting like that head underneath the water because I want to be heard. That's why I love the ODDers. They are the future leaders of the world, and we're failing them big time. They won't bend a knee. And when we can embrace their uniqueness so they can have the environment to step into their power. Why he did go to bed. There wasn't even a thought he wouldn't go to bed. Matter of fact, I'm thinking, boy, Bonnie's cute. Boy, if I could just work my magic I did with these thousands of kids, what do you think she'll like me if I got her kid to go to bed for the first time? I already knew he was going to go to bed because it was all about him. It wasn't about a hidden agenda.
Right.
It wasn't about a bribery, a wolf in sheep's clothing, a little bait and switch. He ran on pure goal power. How do we know when a genius offspring's always learning? Genius offspring always learning. GOAL. They're running on goal power. Nothing can stop you when you're running on goal power. That's why he went to bed. And it happened every single time. Your goals will manifest every single time, whether you're in survival mode or in creation mode. Unless you can prove to me that gravity is a Monday through Friday, take weekends off. Or you can find me a genius offspring in our animal kingdom, other than man, because we were given free will. But find me an animal in the animal kingdom that postpones the inevitable called leaving the nest, when their prime directive is to prepare them to leave the nest. Non-negotiable.
I have to close with this. I know we're gone over time tonight, and this is so powerful. Though, if I can get it to work. Oh, window. Okay. So we talk about creating a winning environment, and okay, this is a plant that kind of broke off from the original plant. And if it were me, I would have just thrown this plant in the garbage. But we always talk about creating the right environment. Well, you could take the same kid who has never cooperated before, who has this problem and that problem and this problem and that problem, and you can take the same kid. So I want you to see this. This is like a strand, and I videotaped it because it's like totally dead. It's black. I would have just thrown this thing in the garbage. It broke off from right there, okay? Tom takes it, puts this little thing in a glass of water, puts the dead strand in a glass of water, and the root's starting to grow. And let me see if I can actually...
No, it wasn't like you put it in there and be like, yeah, I overnight.
No,
Everybody
it
else
wasn't
said
overnight.
you're wasting your time.
Yeah, I laughed at him. I was like...
Well, you tell me, 3 weeks, 3 months. How long do you think I believed that this little champ could actually sprout
Okay,
and come back to life?
there's the root. And I think you can see where his fingers are starting to turn green. Can anybody see that? Can everybody see that?
Right by my third finger, not
We
the
don't
thumb.
take the plant and throw and give up on the plant and blame the plant for dying. We change the environment, you guys. We create a new environment. We create a winning environment, an empowering environment, an environment where the kids can be seen and heard and given a choice and made to feel like their life matters. And I need to have Chelsea just share this. Chelsea came to us. She had a daughter who was diagnosed with oppositional defiant disorder. And I'm telling you what, when we spent a little bit of time, I don't know if she can talk. She's got all the kids probably with her. Sorry, I'm putting you on the spot, but
It's
just
okay.
close up with the difference between your daughter and what was going to happen to her and the power that you have here with creating champions for life, the transformation that every single person in the world can do.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So we just had Avery diagnosed with ODD before finding you guys, and the path is obviously therapy, medication, just kind of in any social setting, she's a problem, friends, teachers, anywhere, right? And she just gets cast off to the side. Oh, she has a problem or whatever it is, right? And then when I found you guys, it was just such a blessing because you guys just really spoke into our lives and said, your child is amazing. There's nothing wrong with her. You gotta focus on the positives and change the environment pretty much, and know what kind of role you play as a parent. So she's gone from not being able to have many friends because of her outbursts to having lots of friends in her class. We're able to go on more outings outside of the house because they know how to act accordingly, and it's just she's a pleasure to be around now. And
Yeah.
I think that's the case for the rest of the family as well. Like she's a pleasure to be around, and she's amazing, and we get to see all that she is, even the good, bad, and the ugly. It's still there, but we really are focusing on the positives, and the more you do that, the more they're able to shine, right?
That's amazing. Yes, every child has a genius inside. It's up to us parents to learn how to bring out their greatness. It's not up to our 5-year-olds, our 8-year-olds, our 13-year-olds to come up and please us or to understand how to live the way we would think. It's up to us to learn how to create an environment that empowers our children, and that's what we're doing here with creating champions for life. Any final thoughts from anybody on the panel here? Any
Going
final
once,
closing thoughts?
Going twice. soul.
Okay, so if you're watching, give us a heart, give us a like, give us a comment for what you've learned here tonight. Let us know, are you going to take the challenge and do some videotaping of role playing with your kids? I'd love to see little champion kids all over Facebook, and just can't not wait to hear all of your success stories as we spend 3 hours together this upcoming Saturday for a Super Saturday special event with Creating Champions for Life. Thank you, everybody, for being here.
Okay.
Thank you for watching. And
Let's come off mute.
come off mute, everybody. We're going to do a Creating Champions for
Mother
Life exit.
Infantry that's got a few general dads in there. The slogan goes as, here's to our parenting success. So until we meet again,
Here's to our parenting
parenting
success.
Cheers.
Cheers, everybody. Have a great
Bye for
night.
now.
Bye,
for
everybody.
now.
Yeah.